Good evening. I'm Shay Biter, the founder and CEO of Integrative Touch for Kids. And tonight I am joined by my very special co-host. His name is Adam.
Levine.
No.
Oh.
He was way too busy. It's actually Adam.
Sandler?
No, way outside of our budget. We're a nonprofit, for crying out loud. Actually, it's you, silly, Adam Lazarus.
Okay. Well, I hear he's pretty good too. I know I'm not a famous rock star, funny comedian, but I promise you, everyone, it will be an evening filled with love, laughs, music, and magic. So, welcome to tonight's special celebration, the Integrative Touch for Kids 13th Annual Butterfly Gala.
Woo! Thank you, Adam. I am so very happy that you all are here tonight, and we're so honored and humbled to have you joining us for this very special evening. Obviously, due to current circumstances, we could not be together in person this year. So it's really a groundbreaking evening for ITK as well, our very first ever virtual gala event.
Hopefully we'll all be together next year, but being virtual does have its advantages. Everyone at home doesn't need to get all dressed up. You can watch in your PJs. You don't have to tip the parking valet. And if the service is lousy this year, blame yourselves. It's not our fault.
That's right. But most importantly, being virtual makes this a truly international event, which is incredible. We have people joining us from all around the world tonight.
It's very exciting. Most of you know about the incredible work ITK is doing to pioneer new therapy methods and new models of wellness and to change the way people experience healthcare. But for those of you that are new to Integrative Touch for Kids, we focus on helping kids with special health and medical needs, their families, and healthcare providers.
That's right. And many of you know ITK is all about innovation. Just like we had to innovate for tonight's magical virtual gala, this past year, ITK magically transformed literally all of our programs, more than ever before, to ensure that we could bring our healing services to those who needed it the most. And so tonight, we're going to introduce you to the many amazing people who have benefited from ITK's data-driven, compassionate care services.
Yes, tonight is truly a celebration. You'll laugh, you'll be moved, you'll donate lots of money, right? You'll bid on some incredible auction items, and you will be dazzled and delighted with a captivating performance from the very exciting Dennis Christie, MD. The MD is for Master Deceptionist, a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing magician who will be performing tonight live from Chicago.
It's going to be so fun. I can hardly wait. So to get things rolling, we just wanted to make sure that you, our lovely guests at home, are able to get the most out of this event. So we want to share a quick practical tip. To enhance your experience and ensure you can easily interact with us, it'll be best if you think of this evening as a two-device event.
You can watch the event on your computer, smart TV, but we recommend using a phone or tablet so you can also get links, you can donate, and you can do your auction bidding. So keep two devices handy during the event, and you can use the chat for fun event comments or Q&A for technical questions, and we'll remind you throughout the evening, but you can go to bidpal.net/ITK, it's right there on the screen, to donate and to bid in our silent auction, which will be open until 9 p.m. Pacific time or midnight for all those late owls on the East Coast. And there are some unbelievable items you're gonna win tonight, like a luxurious trip to Italy, a gorgeous Hawaiian vacation, beautiful works of art, custom jewelry, fantastic golf experiences, and even a stay in San Carlos, Mexico. So be sure to check those out, and remember that all the proceeds from tonight go towards helping families living with special health and medical needs.
I'm actually wearing the beautiful necklace, the Tahitian pearl necklace. So you get a little glimpse of it in advance.
It's gorgeous.
So you may be asking yourself, what in the world does an organization with the word touch in its name do during a pandemic? Well, tonight we'll be telling you that story. ITK pivoted and innovated and literally redesigned all of our programs to continue delivering support to children with special health and medical needs, their siblings, their parents, and even healthcare providers.
It's a fantastic organization. Until I got involved with ITK, I really had no idea how important this mission really was. Did you know that 1 in 5 children, or 20% of the pandemic population, pediatric population, has some type of special health or medical need? And did you know that Integrative Touch for Kids is 99% volunteer-based? Our volunteers, contributors, Families, they are the heartbeat of ITK, which is why your generosity is so crucial and so much more important than ever before, because every single dollar donated goes to helping kids receive our healing services, and it's maximized through extensive volunteerism.
That's right. And because ITK is an organization that loves to focus on health and wellness, we wanted to start off in classic ITK style and kick everything off with a moment of visual wellness. So this year, we want to take you on a brief journey to some of the world's most beautiful places and see if you can guess what all of these spots have in common. Laos, New York, Philadelphia, Florida, Hawaii, Chicago, Los Angeles, Seattle, and San Francisco. So, what is the connection between all of these beautiful places? Well, ITK helped people in each of these locations as part of our amazing growth in 2020 by providing needed services nationally and even internationally through our telehealth programs.
And how else did ITK take action in 2020? Well, kids in the hospital became extremely isolated due to COVID. They spent hours and hours alone because of strict visitation policies that limited when and even if their parents could be with them. ITK knew we had to step in to support these kids so they didn't feel isolated or scared or alone. So we did two things almost immediately.
I'm so proud of our creativity. The first was to launch a wellness resource page. This has now been used by thousands of people all over the country. It was featured on KOLD News 13, and the page highlights wellness resources that help children and adults alike as they struggle with the challenges of COVID-19. In May of 2020, ITK was the lead story on the cover of the Arizona Daily Star. We pivoted to bring all of our health and wellness services online and created a Tell a Friend program where young kids could connect with other young kids and have a Tell a Friend to talk to during the pandemic. Kids literally from all over the United States and mind-blowingly as far away as Laos volunteered to help other kids when they needed it the most. One of ITK's youngest volunteers, Molly Marks, who is also an honoree this evening, was featured in the Washington Post, spreading her message of hope and kindness through ITK.
Fantastic. But ITK didn't stop there. We wanted to extend our reach and provide timely, expert perspectives on health and wellness. So in June of 2020, we launched our new Conversations on Healing podcast, which has received thousands of downloads and views from all over the globe, including Europe, Russia, Australia, as far away as Africa and South America, North America, India, and even Asia. The reach and response has been overwhelming.
Yes, we are so proud of this effort. It has literally surpassed all of our wildest dreams. The show has featured an award-winning array of guests, including Daniel Goleman, who joined us, I can't believe it, I literally can't believe it, to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of his internationally acclaimed best-selling book, Emotional Intelligence.
The podcast has also hosted visionaries like Nipun Mehta, the founder of ServiceSpace.org, who was named as an unsung hero of compassion by the Dalai Lama himself. Big hitter, the Lama, and who also served under President Obama. Nipun has also spoken alongside iconic leaders like the late John Lewis and talked with our very own Shea Bider about their mutual passion for service. Trailblazing authors have also been interviewed to spotlight a book launch. Writers like Judson Brewer, the author of Unwinding Anxiety, and Amy Scher, the author of How to Heal Yourself from Depression When No One Else Can. These insightful and inspiring guests, together with Shea, they have helped to expand the conversation on healing internationally, but ITK still wasn't done. We kept growing and going and innovating.
It's crazy, but by September of 2020, we had upped our game even more to help frontline healthcare providers and parents receive personalized one-on-one education and support through our new telewellness program. Thanks to the generosity of our wonderful donors, we have offered over $100,000 in scholarships to frontline healthcare providers and parents all over the country. And to date, ITK has provided 3,984 hours of service in our telehealth programs.
That is incredible. That is fantastic. And we could do more. You've heard about how ITK and how we adapted and amplified our efforts this past year, but tonight is really about thanking you, our dedicated, passionate, and generous ITK community of donors, contributors, and of course, our wonderful volunteers. Thousands of incredible people who have helped us to get to where we are today and have made all of these many accomplishments possible. So throughout the gala, we'll be highlighting some of our special volunteers and hearing from families who have been impacted by ITK. We'd like to take a moment to spotlight one of these families now, a very special mother and daughter who want to share their experience in ITK's telehealth program.
ITK has been the biggest blessing during my health odyssey. There's been moments where I've been hospitalized in the ER, terrified, and because of their telehealth program, I was able to have sessions with them during the scariest times. There's been times during last year where it's been easy to kind of feel exhausted, a little hopeless. And it's during those times where they were there for not just me, but also for my mom.
The ITK team is one that starts with compassion, starts with the individual and helps the family and the individual with their care, with their health, with their life. I think every family, any person, but certainly every family struggling with an individual with a chronic condition, acute, severe condition, would benefit from the care and services of ITK.
It's amazing what happens when you feel like you're a part of a community, that cares about you, that sees you as a person, that has a humanistic approach to medicine. It really transforms you. Even when my body was failing me, even when I was exhausted and tired, I had a reservoir of hope and strength that I was able to tap into. And a large part of that was because of ITK and the compassionate, culturally competent practitioners that ITK has.
As a physician myself, who has spent her career taking care of patients with chronic conditions, patients that are terminally ill, as a hospice physician for decades, I can tell you that the multidisciplinary team that ITK has pulled together to serve families and patients struggling with their illness and the care involved in their illness is unbelievable. I highly recommend ITK to every family and every individual struggling with their health.
They teach you to be warriors, and I feel like I am a health warrior now, and they've just been there, and it means everything. So thank you, ITK. I have endless amount of gratitude for what you've done for me and for my mom.
She would come out of every session, even when she had a fever to 102, had chest pain, shortness of breath, was on oxygen, struggling just to be there. She would come out of those sessions feeling better, feeling calm, feeling like she's got this. And I can't tell you, as a mom, let alone, as a physician, watching her come out of those sessions with a renewed hope and a renewed strength to, like I said, get through the next week, get through the next day, get through the next appointment. It's amazing to watch. We thank you, ITK.
We love you, ITK.
We love you, ITK. I'm your biggest fan.
We're your cheerleaders too.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelly and Anna. It is truly a privilege to have you as part of the ITK family. And so you all can know, Kelly's sister, Melissa, actually worked in ITK's hospital program alongside our very first honoree this evening. To tell us about this very special volunteer and this year's whole child honoree, we're going to pass the microphone to ITK's program director, Katie Frazee.
Thank you, Adam and Shay. It is a pleasure to honor Rachel Foote as our 2021 Whole Child honoree. Rachel has served in a number of roles that showcase her devotion to pediatrics and to integrative touch for kids. In our hospital program, Rachel helped to register children, families, and healthcare providers to receive integrative health services during stressful times. She also helped to gather critical evaluation data that advanced measures of the impact of our work. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Rachel helped ITK transition to telehealth by training volunteers and helping recipients in our TeleFriend and TeleWellness programs. Rachel has additionally become an integral member of our Conversations on Healing podcast production team. Her outstanding love for ITK has brought joy and success to every project she has touched. We are so grateful that Rachel has chosen to dedicate her time and talent to ITK. We invite you to join us in celebrating Rachel Foote. In her honor, we would like to share this special film about the podcast that she has worked so diligently to help create.
Testing, testing, testing.
Welcome to the Conversations on Healing podcast, where host Shay Bider speaks with renowned healthcare leaders and practitioners to explore the world of wellness, the incredible powers of self-care, and what it truly means to heal today. Join us on this journey to become more whole, healed, and connected.
The Conversations on Healing podcast was something we'd wanted to do for a very long time with ITK. And when the pandemic changed everything in the world as we know it, we determined that that was the right time to go forward. And we haven't looked back since. So good morning, Duncan and Gwen. I'm so delighted to have you here on our Conversations on Healing podcast. ITK is so much about healing, love and healing, right? This is the essence of who we are organizationally. And I felt like there weren't enough conversations out there in the world at large around what does it mean to heal? And it's not one answer, it's many answers.
Because healing is hard, it's scary, we can feel vulnerable, and we can feel alone.
Healing really often means just coming out of one's head and moving into one's heart.
I find healing to be very empowering. And I think that's because healing isn't something that somebody else does to you. I think that in large part, healing is something that you do for yourself.
The idea of creating a podcast where we could talk to diverse guests of so many different backgrounds about what it means to heal for them and the resources and the perspective and the individual take that they have on that, I thought would be so valuable. And boy, has that proven to be true. The quality of the guests. You know, we've had people like Daniel Goleman, who wrote the book on emotional intelligence, come to us for his 25-year anniversary to discuss that seminal work. We've had people like Nipun Mehta, who's from servicespace.org, who serves over 500,000 people have volunteered within that organization. And he talked to us about what it means to give, to be of service, to be generous. We've had scientists like Judson Brewer, who combines the neurosciences with habit change and gives really practical tools for how you reduce anxiety in your life. And so this incredible mix of outstanding scholars and leaders and healthcare providers and others has just brought together a constellation that's exceeded what I ever would have imagined in the initial conception of the podcast. There was a gap. There was something missing in the marketplace, which was this conversation on healing.
Part of the healing process starts with acknowledging that we need some healing.
We really look at it from that diverse blend of indigenous healers all the way up to modern medicine in hospital acute care. and to look at healing from so many different vantage points.
First of all, healing is not black and white. It's not like yes, healed, no, not healed. So I would say healing is a spectrum of reaching one step closer to wholeness, to a sense of connection and belonging, of fulfilling our potential to have a meaningful life with as little suffering as possible within a community.
That conversation wasn't out there. And so I think giving an opportunity for that voice to be heard has been really valuable.
I think first I concentrate on physical healing. Now the next step is, which is more important even, is healing of your mind.
I've got this this journey that we take families on, and what is healing for them, and it's acceptance, and doing the best you can be.
When I reflect on the challenges of COVID-19, I am extraordinarily proud of our entire community, our staff, our volunteers, every single person who walked with us and wasn't afraid.
I totally just messed that up. Bloopers. We're gonna have some bloopers.
It's a great question. We're not all in the same place.
What place is it?
You guys want to share?
Yeah, I'm in Tucson, Arizona right now, but originally I'm from Seattle, Washington.
And then I'm in LA, the LA area, with my family right now.
Especially during this time, like the people that you can love on them hard and physically, and the people that you can't love on hard and physically, love on remotely.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Conversations on Healing podcast. If you haven't yet, please go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. It helps so you won't miss an episode. See you next time.
Good. Bye. See ya.
Easy done. Woo, well done.
Tune into
Conversations
on Healing
podcast.
Yay!
Oh, so sweet.
That was good.
I want to personally thank you, Rachel, and the entire Conversations on Healing podcast team for your extraordinary efforts in 2020. And Rachel, congratulations again on being named as ITK's Whole Child Honoree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Aw, we love you, Rachel.
Congratulations again, Rachel. If you didn't already know, Integrative Touch for Kids has volunteers of all ages. We also have honorees of all ages. With that said, it is our absolute pleasure to introduce one of our youngest volunteers and honorees, and a personal friend of mine, the wonderful, the marvelous Miss Molly Marks.
My name is Molly Marks, and I am the youngest Telefriend volunteer. And what I like most about the Telefriend sessions are that I get to meet them, and they're just so wonderful to be with. And at the first time, I get a little nervous, but at the end of that first session, I know they'll be one of my favorite best friends for like forever. And I just love seeing them every Sunday, and it's just wonderful, and it's just, I love it to be with them. I love you, ITK.
Oh my gosh, Molly is just
She's
the best.
So cute.
Well, behind every great and amazing kid is a sensational and supportive family. And Molly and her amazing family have been selected as ITK's Whole Family Honorees this year. So we're gonna head back to Katie so she can share a few remarks about Molly's family.
Thank you. Molly is incredible. For our 2021 Whole Family honorees, it is our pleasure to honor the Adams and Marks families for the significant support they have given to our organization. Their meaningful contributions exemplify compassion across generations. Howie has volunteered for several years as a facilitator of our men's support groups at our healing retreats. Together, Joanne and Howie hosted a house party to share ITK's mission with their family and friends. Molly and Amanda participated together in our first ever ITK Telefriend session. Then Molly and Howie paired up as telefriends to bring joy and friendship to a child isolated at home during the pandemic. Molly's kindness as our youngest volunteer captured the attention of a journalist at the Washington Post, and her story made its way around the world. The Marks and Adams families embody generous philanthropic values. We truly appreciate the significance of their contributions to ITK. We invite you to join us in honoring the Marks and Adams families as we drop in to celebrate them at home.
Oh, yay, congrats. Molly, what'd you think? Going well?
Yeah.
Congratulations, sweetheart. You're doing amazing.
Congratulations, guys. In honor of the wonderful Marks and Adams families, we want to share a short film about the program that Molly, her mom, and her grandpa volunteered in, ITK's Tell a Friend program.
This is my friend Julie.
Hello, Julie. Hi.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Pauline, I want to introduce you to two amazing people.
Hi.
These are your buddies. This is Kelly.
Hi.
First.
Hi, Paulina.
Hi.
Oh, good.
Nice to meet you. 40, 50, 60. There they are!
Hi, Chelsea.
Chelsea!
Hi, how are you?
Good.
The Integrative Touch for Kids Tell a Friend program pairs a young person who has any type of social, emotional, or medical need with a team of volunteers who are compassionate and available to see them through the building of a relationship. Our volunteer teams are comprised of one youth volunteer and one adult volunteer. So our Tell a Friend children have the ability to build relationship with individuals in each group. And they have diversity in their friendship and in their conversations and in the activities they participate in. The Tell a Friend program has helped these kids maintain a sense of humanity through unpredictable times.
I'm a little sad, but this telepathy makes me feel better.
You're feeling a little sad? Yeah, that's okay.
I don't want to go say goodbye to you guys.
Thank you for all you guys do in our life. You know, thank you for being a community for me. If I didn't have you guys, I can't imagine doing this. You know, I don't even think I'd be able to do it. You know.
Yeah. It means a lot to have each other.
Yeah. We're lucky to have you too.
I have so much fun with Adam and Ian.
You love that flute, huh? Listen to the flute.
So Lisa, I'd love to see you looking so happy.
I brought a friend too today, Paulina.
Oh, really? Who?
So did I.
Who's that? Who's this?
Who is this creature? Who is that creature?
You guys rock. You guys are the best people I've ever known in my whole life. Thank you.
Oh, my cheeks hurt. Oh, you're
Me
so
too.
sweet.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you for the smiles today. What a fabulous Friday.
ITK has built a network of support, compassion training for our volunteers, educational opportunities for our families, wellness services for everyone. And within that space, the kids are able to relax, inquire, explore, learn who they are, and feel more deeply connected to others. And that's something very unique for this moment in history.
I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And I'm also thankful for this ITK program, and I got to meet you guys, Ian, Adam. You guys are really awesome. We have so much in common. I have lots of fun talking with you guys. I feel way more happier each time I talk. So I'm glad I got to meet both of you. My new friends.
Yeah.
Thanks, ITK.
The ITK Tell-a-Friend program is what community care looks like. This is the future of healthcare in our youth.
I'm feeling the best.
Love that. What about your anxiety?
I'm feeling 0.
Your pain?
I'm feeling no hurt.
Can you rate your session today?
I'm feeling 10.
While we enjoy our time together and being at home, to get the invitation for something as special as this has been such a blessing on our lives. And it's been a true silver lining of COVID. Getting to know Phil with Seb every week has been very special for Seb. It's something that he looks forward to when he can't connect in person to his friends and his life and his football games and practices. Having Phil was such a highlight and is such a highlight every single week.
During this ITK session with Phil, we've been playing board games, chatting with each other, and having lots of fun together.
It's been really an incredible experience to get to know someone in our community that's a little older than Seb, and Seb can look to as a role model, and have someone to confide in and share his feelings with that's not his family. It's been just such an incredible experience, and I'm so grateful to ITK for always coming alongside us in whatever part of our journey that we're on, and finding ways to celebrate our family, help our family, encourage us, and just shine their light on us.
You're a very nice kid.
Thank you, Phil, for being there for me, and thanks for letting me share my thoughts with you.
Thank you, Integrative Touch for Kids. We love you.
Seb, it's been fun. It's been fun.
It's been an encouragement to my son to know that there's something he can do to reach out to someone, and someone who can actually reach out to his needs as well. Someone that he can spend time with and get to know and have fun with online. So it's really a benefit just as much to a volunteer as it is to someone who's a recipient of the Tell-a-Friend. So we're really grateful for the opportunity we've had working with Tell-a-Friend, and Seb is just such a fabulous kid, and we've really enjoyed getting to know him.
Bye. Bye, Evan. Bye, and Jamie. Bye.
Bye. I'll see you next week. Let's go make the most of today and this next week, and we'll see each other next week.
Awesome. I love ITK.
We love their road.
Oh, we love our Tell-a-Friends.
That was amazing. That really was.
Adam told me he's going to get his kids to sign up.
Right? Get ready, kids.
Get ready.
Yes.
Coming soon.
It's awesome. Awesome.
So at ITK, as you know, we're all about helping kids, but we really love the model of kids helping other kids. And so as such, we've designed our programs to build compassion skills so that children can learn to love and embrace everyone's unique abilities and actually put their compassion into action.
And now is a great time to share some of your compassion by helping us support more families like the ones you just saw, which is basically the nice way of saying it's time for your donations. Everybody get ready. You've seen the work we're doing, and you've heard from those affected most, so please take out your phones or tablets now, and your wallets too, that's important, and put your compassion into action, okay, by making a donation to support us at ITK. We're texting you a link right now, or you can go to bidpal.net/ITK. It's on the screen. So please give us as much generosity as you can.
We so want ITK to be able to continue to provide this valuable work in 2021 and beyond. And hopefully you feel inspired by what you've seen tonight and are moved by the unique and powerful need that ITK is filling during these challenging times.
It's your generosity that powers our program. And this year, we need your help more than ever before. Our goal is 100% participation from everyone at home. And that means everyone at home, okay?
That's right.
That's you and Marco and John, all of you. I see over there, don't mute us. You can hear. Anything you can do, whatever you can give, and however generous you feel, it helps. Every dollar we raise this evening goes directly towards goes directly towards helping families living with special health and medical needs.
That's right. So contribute what you can by donating to our cause or by participating in the silent auction. We have some amazing items up for bid that we'll be telling you a little bit more about shortly.
And to help incentivize you a little further, and thank you for your generosity, we have some special ITK prizes that we'll be giving out tonight to various donors. The first prize goes to the person who makes the very first donation right now. Right now, who's it gonna be? Who will be the first to give big? The second prize goes to the top supporter. So whoever makes the largest gift to ITK. And the third prize goes to the person who wins the most auction items. Tonight's gala is ITK's single largest fundraiser for the year, so thank you all for participating. The value of your donations is enormously important to all that we do and to the success of our mission. In fact, it's critical. Because of your donations, the kids who need it most are able to receive our healing services free of charge. So please keep the contributions rolling in and the momentum going forward for ITK in 2021 and beyond by continuing to donate money or your time.
And I'm so excited to see we're getting some donations coming in. We want to thank you and provide some gratitude. So we see that Mary and Richard and Jeff and Ellen
Kathleen
and Sheldon.
Thank you. Thank you for all of your generosity.
So to remind you of who you're helping, we want to share this heartfelt film that illustrates the impact that ITK has made with frontline healthcare providers and parents who have kids with complex medical issues. The heart of the wellness program is the heart of every ITK program, which is love. How do we love people? How do we love people through the hardest moments in their lives? And whether that's a frontline healthcare provider who's in the middle of a pandemic, who doesn't know if they can make it to work one more day because it's so hard, or whether that's a parent who through a pandemic has a child with cancer and is trying to navigate treatment and also keep their child from getting COVID, which could take their life under this set of circumstances. It's how do we love you anyway? How do we love you through the impossible? How do we love you through the greatest suffering that you've ever known? And that's organizationally what we're designed for. That essentially is who we are and what we do. We find your darkest moment, we find your hardest hour, and we say, we're here. That's exactly what ITK represents. It's a community of people who will love you in those times when you feel like you don't even remember if you are lovable anymore because it's just so painful.
COVID's just hard. It's like nothing you could have ever imagined. That's the best way to put it.
You know, I have 9 kids. My bucket was full in so many places. So like, okay, the bucket is running over and I'm at a place of anxiety, a place of brokenness, a place of, virtual depression and all that. The bucket's got to spill over.
The hospital was going into this crisis mode in December, January with the third, the third, fourth, fifth surge that we were having with COVID. And they were asking the residents to give away their electives in order to help with the COVID surge and actually go to COVID units, even though it was outside of our specialty and whatever subspecialty you were in. And I just panicked. I mean, I had a breakdown.
Those busy moms, those busy doctor moms, okay? Those busy, overwhelmed residents getting an understanding that if your internal self is not okay, that is going to affect your physical self. That is going to affect your physical health and wellness. If we don't do the real work, it's not going to work.
What's fabulous about telehealth and telewellness and the way we've designed the series is it's portable. You can do it from anywhere in the country. You can do it if you're in the hospital. You can do it at home. And our practitioners are trained to go with you wherever you are. And I really feel like that's the essence of the program. We'll meet you where you are to help you to heal during this crazy, difficult time.
It's so good to see you, Michelle. How
Our
are you doing?
wellness
Welcome to
team is simply outstanding. They are what I would consider the creme de la creme of healers in our community, people who have collectively over 100 years of experience easily amongst them. We've got people that studied acupuncture and different forms of body work, things like mindfulness-based stress reduction, meditation, breathing techniques. They've worked in treatment centers, they've worked in hospitals, they've worked in community clinics, they've worked in palliative care clinics. So they also know how to address diverse populations and how to be with anyone, essentially, which is really a tremendous skill, because when you have a series that is comprised of people with so many unique and individual needs, if you have a healing team that can address and respond to all of those different needs, it makes a world of difference.
The moment I knew that I was in the correct spot with the telewellness series was day one, when I knew that I was safe, I was secure, I was with a team that cared about my thoughts, that was ready to teach me, ready to help me. And I think for that first hour in the telewellness series, I cried. I blithering cried for an hour straight, and my team sat and listened to me, and it makes me teary just thinking about it.
Having a space and an outlet that, you know, lets me take care of me. And allowing that, you know, I think it's so hard being a mom and being a physician to just allow yourself to be taken care of. The way I would describe my experience in the telewellness program is it's been revolutionary.
That's what telewellness is to me. It's how I get well. It's the medicine. Like, I have been in a place of healing ever since.
Being able to go into a work environment and not leave at the end of the day emotionally exhausted, drained, overwhelmed, because I'm able to open my toolbox and say, okay, I need to step back, I need to take a breath. And that's what the telewellness series gave me to take to work with me, to take everywhere with me, for that matter.
This telewellness series has just helped me to, you know, just take a deep breath. Like, I use the breathing techniques all the time, you know, to recenter and be present, or to cleanse in between patient encounters.
I have evidence of how the telewellness program has, in a tangible way, benefited me. Even in overwhelming circumstances and situations, I can find my pause. The effects have been freeing. It has been healing. It has been hope. It has given hope.
Just having that 1 hour a week, it's made me a better person, I think, and a better mom, because I'm more able to give when I feel fuller.
For ITK, I think the gift that we offer to our healthcare providers and our parents that take the telewellness series is we give you the gift of you. We give you the gift of knowing how to take care of you. And that has a real longevity to it.
This is the same house. It's the same house. But it's not the same house. It's so brand new. My lifestyle is like telewellness. Like, I make sure that my mind and my body and my purpose, like, I'm grounded, staying in gratitude, you know, my breathing, wake up in the morning, and everything that I need, I have.
I'm so grateful for this series and being a part of it.
Wow, that was incredible. That was very powerful. It's so moving to see the difference that ITK is making, thanks to the extraordinary financial support from all of you. Everyone at home, thank you for all of your contributions, but please keep them coming. We need all the help we can get, and auction bids are open. So let's give another shout out to some of our specific donors who are contributing right now.
Yay, look who we have there, Jose and
yes, James. Yes, thank you, James. Thank you, Jerry.
And thank you, Heidi. We appreciate you.
Thank you for all your generosity.
We also want to thank our very special honorees, Pat Raskob and John Jarvis from Raskob Kamburian Financial Advisors. We are extraordinarily appreciative of your significant contributions to ITK that have allowed our work to spread and for what you just saw in that film to grow this past year. So I'm going to pass the spotlight back to Katie Frazee to share a few kind words about these two tremendous people, Pat and John, our whole community honorees.
Thank you. It is truly our pleasure to honor Pat Raskob and John Jarvis from Raskob Kamburian Financial Advisors as our 2021 whole community honorees for the valuable support they have offered our organization. Pat and John have been long-standing contributors to our mission. Raskob Kamburian has regularly sponsored our annual Gala event, and Pat has made significant personal contributions to support our mission. Pat believes in the profound importance of touch to help us heal in our most difficult moments. John has been a key advisor, presented to our board of directors, and provided financial guidance to support integrative touch for kids. Pat and John's collective kindness and generosity have been essential to the growth and development of our organization. We invite you to join us in honoring Pat Raskob and John Jarvis of Raskob Kamburian at this year's Gala as we connect with them during this special moment.
Yo, so cute!
Thank you so much, Pat and John.
Well, thank you, and we hope the building fund continues to grow very rapidly.
Thank you so much, Pat. We appreciate you both very much.
Thank you again, Pat and John. It has been a magical night so far, but before we get to the real magic coming up soon, let's take a look at a few of the fabulous auction items that are up for grabs tonight. And honestly, Shay, I may need you to take over for a minute while I grab my phone and I bid on a few of these because they're pretty cool. But for everyone at home, now's the time. Take out your phones and get ready to place your bids because these items will not be available long. They're really cool. The first one is a 1-week stay in a villa in Tuscany, Italy for 2 couples. 7-night accommodations in a luxury villa in the gorgeous Tuscany region of Italy. 11 properties are available, all situated around the ancient town of Monciano. Truly magical. The second item is a beautiful Tahitian pearl Galaxia pendant necklace. Shay is actually wearing it tonight and it looks beautiful. It's 14 karat gold with yellow diamonds and rubies, and it's donated by well-known La Jolla Diamonds and Gems. This necklace is truly a stunner. The third featured item is a 1-week stay at the stunning Kona Coast Resort on the Big Island of Hawaii. The resort sits on 21 lush acres, and your 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo includes a full kitchen, private lanai, and access to dining, shopping, entertainment, and so much more. These are just a few of the awesome items. And remember, all the money we raise goes to helping people who need it the most, so keep the bidding going. The website is on the screen. It's bidpal.net/ITK, but remember, the close of the auction will be at 9 p.m. Pacific time and midnight for all the late owls on the East Coast.
That's right. And also because volunteers are so important and sponsors are so important to ITK, we wanted to have some of our kids show their love, so they made a special video thanking our sponsors tonight.
Thank you, Lori and Rob. Thank you, Sharon and Al.
Thank you, Rusing, Lopez, and Lazardi.
Thank you, Ann and Chris.
Thank you, Arbico Organics.
Thank you, Jonathan and Karen. Thank you, Deborah and Jeff.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, State Farm.
Thank you, Tucson Federal Credit Union.
Thank you, Jamie and Bill.
Thank you, Paul College.
Make you protected tomorrows. Thank you, Cox.
Thank you, Ellen and Jeffrey.
Thank you, Tucson Electric Power.
Thank you, Banner Health.
Thank you, Raskob Kimborian Financial Advisors.
Thank you, Rainy.
Thank you, Eric and Thane.
Thank you, Simone and Isaac.
Thank you, Howie and Joanne.
Thank you, Alliance Bank.
Thank you, Boring Companies.
Oh, so adorable.
Those kids are so cute.
We also want to thank our remarkable Gala committee and this year's event chair, Simone Figueroa. The committee worked tirelessly to pivot from an in-person event to a drive-in event and ultimately to a virtual event. So we wanted to share with you a snapshot of the committee hard at work in one of their Zoom meetings. So thank you all so much for your creativity and flexibility.
Yes, thank you so much. And tonight, I think you've all learned why Integrative Touch for Kids is just so special and exactly what a nonprofit with the word touch in its name can do. Not only survive, but actually thrive during a pandemic. Because of your generosity, we can keep innovating through a high-tech, high-touch approach to help people all over the world.
That's right. So despite the challenges in the world, ITK continues to grow, and we want you to be a part of that growth. Giving a donation is fabulous, and also giving your time is just as important. We rely on our community of volunteers. So please get in touch with us. You can work remotely. Just stop at integrativetouch.org to learn more.
With your generosity and with every gift, ITK gets one step closer to realizing our biggest dream yet, to create a first-of-its-kind healing center based here in Arizona. It will reach children and families here in our community and all over the world. With your help and your donations, we can reach our goal.
That's right, and that's where our vision is headed next. So we'd like to take a special moment because each year we honor someone special with a surprise Heart of Gold award. The award is named after our board chair, Jeffrey Gold, who always demonstrates love, compassion, exceptional volunteerism, and care for the mission of our organization. We continue to be grateful for his enormous contribution of time and talent. This year, the Heart of Gold Award goes to a tireless supporter of ITK, a nurse and a teacher working in our retreat and telehealth programs. She has donated to ITK personally and helped to secure funding as a Rotarian. We are better and stronger because of her outstanding volunteerism. Tonight's Heart of Gold surprise award goes to Sharon Chesser.
Hey, Sharon.
We know you didn't know, but look how magical you are. And your special award is in that gift bag. It's all just for you, Sharon. We love you.
Oh, we love you.
Aww.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. You've heard about ITK now from the kids and the families, from our volunteers, and you've certainly heard plenty from me, I'm sure. But thank you for your attention and your bids and your donations. If you've made a donation, we can always take more, and if you haven't, now's the time. Your generous support truly means everything to us. But now, for a moment, it's time to put your phones down and pay very close attention, because there is magic in the air. He has been wowing audiences and investigating the art of truth and deception for over 20 years, and now he's here to blur the lines of reality right in your living room. Live from Chicago, please welcome your magician and master deceptionist for this evening, Mr. Dennis Christie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys so much for spending this time with us. You've already been seeing so many wonderful and amazing stories about how you guys have helped, and some of you have been the helpers and impacted so many kids' lives. What an organization. I can just say that. I've worked with so many people, and this is something special. Well, my name is Dennis Christie. I just want to share with you guys something, because people will often ask me, they'll say, Dennis, how do you become a magician? How do you even get into that line of work? And I want to share with you, there's 3 things that I do every single day to do what it is that I do. The first thing is that I pay very close attention to detail. That means right now, if I were you at home watching, I would be watching everything that I'm doing and following it along exactly. The second and third thing that I do is I stretch and I exercise. And people usually scratch their head when they see these things because they say, what do stretching and exercise have to do with magic? But I'm going to show you. This is an exercise that I do every single day. It's called chasing the fingers, and it looks like this, just like that. And I can even see it looks like some of you at home may even be trying that. Yeah. And that is something that is a little bit more difficult, but I want to do something together with you. I want everybody to participate with me because for some reason, after high school, we stopped stretching. Why? I don't know. But we're going to do this together as a group. I want everybody to take their hands out in front of them, just like this, with their thumbs face up. Now, if you're doing this correctly, you want to make sure that your elbows are not bent, but they're actually out like this. And you should feel a decent stretch in your back, not so you're straining yourself. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath. And then as you breathe out, I want you to try to stretch just a little bit further. And you should have felt that stretch change. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to rotate your hands so your thumbs are now face down. And if you've been doing this correctly, you should feel that stretch change. I want everybody to do this with me. I'm watching you guys too. I'm watching to see who's doing this. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to cross your hands one over the other. It doesn't matter which hand is on top, just as long as the fingers come together just like this. I'm going to look at the screen to make sure everybody's doing this correctly. Very good, very good. I still see somebody. Make sure that the fingers there are all the way together as you're doing this. They're all the way together. And wiggle the pinkies. They should be on the top. Take a deep breath. And this time when you breathe out, just go ahead and bring up your thumbs like this. And that is why we pay very close attention to detail. So just to kind of give you an idea of how this show is going to go, we're going to start off with some things that are easy. And we're going to work our way to more difficult things as we progress. One of the things that I want to share with you, traditionally I try to create a lot of my own illusions, and I'm going to talk fast because there's so much that I want to share with you in a short period of time. But one of the ones that I want to share with you that's not my own, but it is such a beautiful visual illusion to the eye, and it's one of my kids' favorite, and it's this one right here. Now generally, if we were together, I would hand these props out to you guys to examine. You'll notice that this is a pretty decent length of rope. We also have a smaller one here. Now, I want to share with you something before I pick up that last piece of rope, and it's this. I told you this is my kid's favorite trick, but the reason I want to share this with you is because any of you that have kids, you'll know this. We were coming home late one night, and they should have already been sleeping, and they're wide awake. They get out of the car, and all of them, right about 5 years old, the same thing happens. They get out of the car, they look up in the sky and they say, Papa. I said, what? And they say, the moon, the moon, the moon. It's so big. And their eyes get bright and wide. And it just makes me think about all of the wonder and the joy that we miss in the world as we get older. And I want you to think about that as through the eyes of a child, because that's who you guys are helping out. When we do this, I'm hoping to give you guys just a little bit of that joy and wonder that you had when you were a kid. Well, as I said, you can see the difference between these two ropes is obviously the length. The most important one, though, is this one right here. Now, this one, if you take a look, you can see it's a medium-sized rope, and we're going to bring this together just like this. So if you look, you can see that we have a long piece of rope, we have a medium piece of rope, and over here is the small and short rope. And you guys should be able to see that those are all different ropes, but most people don't know that they're not different size ropes. These are indeed actually all the same size ropes. And I know that everybody misses that we have 1, 2, 3 ropes. Now, when I perform this for kids, they believe me, but it's the adults. You see, the adults, they don't believe until they actually see that we have one medium rope over here. Here's the second medium rope, and over here is the third and final medium rope. Well, as I said, this is one of my kids' favorite tricks. And if I were to come home with 3 medium ropes, they would be disheartened because it wouldn't work. So we're going to do something just a little bit different. And I want to share this with you guys. Those of you at home, I want you to be able to see, because those of you guys should be able to see. If you look, people will ask me, Dennis, can you move your thumb? Because maybe you're holding something funny with your thumb there. I want you to be able to see. You can see that it really is indeed 3 medium pieces of rope. There's nothing special about that. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring these guys together. And if you remember, we have our medium rope, but please don't forget, we had the small rope and the long rope. Well, I want to do something different, and we're going to use one of our volunteers for this next part. I would like to have, Rachel, would you be willing to help me out? I can't quite hear you. You there with me, Rachel?
Can you hear me now? I'm here.
I can hear you now. Perfect. All right, excellent. Rachel, I want you to come over here. Jonathan's going to join us, and you'll notice here that I have a sheet of paper. On this sheet of paper, there are some different colors written down. However, the colors do not match the words. Now, you don't have to read the whole page, but what I want you to do is I want you to say the word instead, I'm sorry, you're going to say the color instead of the word. So you're going to look at the words starting with red, but you're not going to say red, you're going to say green. And then you'll continue on, and I want you to do that. Keep going on down the line until I ask you to stop. Go ahead and do that now.
Okay. Green, purple, red, purple, yellow, purple, pink, purple. I think blue says blue. Pink, blue, yellow.
Perfect,
blue.
and stop. That's exactly what I want you to do. And you can see how difficult that is. Now, here's what I want you to do. Take a look at these crayons, and you'll notice that we have 8 different crayons. We have orange, green, black, yellow, brown, purple, red, and blue. I want you to name the first color that comes to your mind, the very first color that comes to your mind.
Blue.
Blue. Just to confirm, you did say blue. That is correct? Now,
Yes.
You'll notice that you could have said any of these other colors. Blue is the one that you said. After reading that sheet, my goal was to hopefully get your brain to say the color it is that I want you to say. I want you to take a look inside this box. I'm just going to move the lid so you can clearly see that inside this box, I have one sheet of scarf. Just so you don't think that I snuck that in there, I want to show you that under that scarf, I do indeed have one blue crayon.
Well done. Well done.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Well, we have some more that we want to show you guys, and I want to move on to these because I have, as I said, a lot to get into. And I am curious, I want you to think about this. How many of you have ever played with origami? You don't have to shout out loud, that's okay. But I just want to ask you, if you don't know what origami is, it's the art of paper folding. People, they'll make things like a hat, or they'll make animals like a cat or giraffe or an ostrich, different things that you can make with the origami. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but you can do this not just with a sheet of paper. You can also do it with this. There's some aluminum foil right here. And we're going to get to this in just a moment. Jonathan, can you do me a favor? I want you to come in close on this sheet of paper because we're going to be using this in just a moment. Now, you guys have heard, I'm going to come back to the aluminum foil, but you guys have heard some of the stories, and there are so many more that ITK does. I want you to look at the sheet, and you'll notice that there's words like loved, encourage, hope, smiles, joy. But there's also some other things like scared, pain, anxiety, worry, stress, and fear. And I want you to notice that ITK handles all of those things. You see, they help the kids out in a way like no other organization does. They address all of those hard issues and they change them and turn them around. We're going to come back to this in just a moment. I'm going to need another volunteer in just a moment, and I'm going to have Sharon help me out in just a bit. You don't have to pull Sharon up just yet, because I want to show you, as I said, the aluminum foil. As I said, you can make things with aluminum foil, that would bring smiles to pieces of paper. Now, if you were to do this, you're going to need a sheet that's probably about 2 to 3 feet in length. The next thing you want to do is you would take it and lay it across the box. When you do that, you're going to push down against the box to kind of get a crease right here. And then you begin to just twist and twirl the aluminum foil just like that. And I don't know how many of you guys can begin to see how that looks like does that look like a swan? No, it doesn't. That's okay. But maybe if we use our imagination, we can see a snowball. You see, imagination is what brings us to so many things. Imagination is what brought ITK about. And Shay had a vision. Through imagination, she brought it to what it needs to be. Now, I don't need a snowball, but I'm going to show you something else. Maybe a dad pancake. You guys can imagine a dad pancake. If I just form this maybe into a little rectangle just like this, I can begin to see what I need just by scratching away at the surface of reality. And if I were to scratch away at the surface of reality, I can begin to see exactly what it is that I need. Just like that. Now inside here, I have something. I have something special. You guys can see the words that match this sheet. So for instance, we have the words loved, relaxation, sadness, community, life, financial struggles, stress, broken families, hurt, smiles, pain, happiness, scared, encouragement, fear, friendship, isolation, joy, depression, triumph, defeat, courage, neglect, hope. These are all different words, and they really are all different as we continue to go through these. Look at this. We even have some of these guys that are extras that we don't even need. That's okay. So here are all of the different words that we have. Now here's what I want to do with you. Do we have, Sharon, are you there with us?
I am, and I have my grandson with me to help.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So Sharon, this is what we're going to do. Sharon, Jonathan is going to make sure that he gets all of this on film for us. And I want to do this in this tight spot. I have here all of these different words and how you're going to help us. First, let me get these guys mixed up with all of the rest just like this. So that way the words that we just saw, we can see that they're all in different orders. What you're going to do as I go through these, you're just going to say stop whenever you want as I go down the sides of the cards, just like that. So just say stop whenever you want. I'll go slow because we have a delay.
Okay.
Stop.
All right there? Okay, and forgive me if that's not where you stopped. I'm dealing with about a half-second delay. I'll give you an opportunity. Would you like me to change your mind? Do you want to change your mind or do you want me to keep going?
No.
Don't change.
Stay there? Okay, very good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave this card face down, and we're going to come to it in just a bit. I'm going to remove all the rest of the cards over here so we cannot change it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan will never take the camera off of this card. We're going to come to that in just a little bit. Now, you'll notice over here as well, we have this sheet. I would like one of you to just name a number between 1 and 16. Could you name any number between 1 and 16?
12.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. The sound was a little quiet for me.
Big voice.
12.
12.
Now, is there any special reason that you had thought of 12, or that's just what you had wanted?
Okay, not really.
Not really.
Well, that's just what popped into your mind. Very good. That's okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to tear these guys up, and I want to see something here. Very good. One more time. Now you can see here, if you had chosen number 1, we would have had neglect. Number 2 would have been, it looks like, relaxation. Number 3 would have been hope. Number 4, it looks like life. Number 5 would have been worry. Number 6 would have been courage. Number 7, happiness. Number 8, scared. Number 9, joy. Number 10, it looks like encourage. Number 11, we have actually hurt and smile right there. And number 12, ITK. Now you remember that we could have stopped at any card, and we stopped at ITK. You guys, ITK makes such an impact. I want to thank you guys for watching what it is. We have more to come, but I just want to take a moment. It makes such a difference. You saw all those different words. There's the positive words, the negative words, and that's what ITK does. They change that and they change it around. And when you guys donate to help those guys out, it changes lives. You need to understand that, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Well, let's continue on with some more magic. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying things so far. I want to share with you guys something a little bit off the cuff. You see, I don't know about you guys, but I get all of these calls coming in. They're automated calls, and they just blow up my phone. Well, once in a while, I get one of those calls, and it's a live person. And I actually took the call because it was a live person. I was surprised. So I'm like, all right, let's hear what it is that this guy has to say. Well, the guy calls me and he says, Dennis, I am going to tell you right now that one day you are going to die. And I thought, what a way to start a conversation. And he goes, but I have something for you. He goes, this right here. For $19,000, you can have the Austrian canopy, followed by the French velvet drapes, and lastly, the German embossed casket for $19,000. And I said, I don't have $19,000. I have a wife and 4 kids. And he goes, I'll tell you what, Dennis, we're going to skip the canopy. We'll just stick with the French drapes and the German embossed casket. And we can do that. We can do that for $14,000. And I said, that's still too much for me. And he says, I'll tell you what, we're just going to do the German embossed casket. And we can do that for $12,000. And I said, do you have anything a little less? And he says, Dennis, I think I have exactly what you need. I know that it's not necessarily a magic trick, but that really is one of my favorite little pieces to enjoy. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that small little bit. I want to share with you guys something a little bit different. It's a story about 5 magicians that would meet. And they would always do stuff to try to fool one another. Well, these magicians, they would meet, and they would always use simple props. Now, I promise if we were live and we were to do this, I would give this out to examine so you guys can see this. But here we have a simple rope. We also have a simple ring. I'm going to show this close so Jonathan can see that there is no special holes within that ring. And I assure you that this ring is a very solid ring. This rope also doesn't have any sort of magnets or anything like that in it. I'm just going to do this so you can see that it's not attaching as I go by it. There's nothing special about it. I'll show you the other end as well. And then I will show you how those 5 magicians proceeded to fool one another. You see, the first magician, he said, I can take that rope and I would make sure that the ends of the rope and the middle of the rope are nowhere near the rings. The ends will never be near the ring, but I can still pull that ring right onto that rope, just like that. Well, the second magician said, that's a neat trick, But that's really all that it is. It's just a trick. He goes, what would really be impressive if you could take that rope and put a knot in it. And if you did that, then you could actually see the moment that the ring would not only pass through the knot, but would come right through to the middle, just like that. Well, the third magician, not to be outdone by the other two, said, I too could take that ring and use nothing more than just my breath. You see, I would take the ring and I would leave it away from the ends, which are down here, and pull it to the middle. But you'll notice that it doesn't go through to the middle yet. All I have to do is use my breath. And just like that, it'll go through. Well, the fourth magician said, I too can use nothing more than just my breath. I could use, like the other magician, not using my breath, but I can put that ring on the rope. And the other magician scoffed because they said, we saw you do it. That's not a trick. And he says, no, I know. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take and put not one loop in there, but actually 2 loops. So that way you can clearly see that the ring is indeed on the rope. Now, if he wanted to, he could take that ring and he could slide the ring down the rope. And he could also grab the ring and pull it up the rope. But one thing they knew is that the ring was indeed on the rope. And there would be no way for him to just take that ring and pull that ring off, because that would be impossible. Well, the fifth and final magician, he said, those are all wonderful, you guys, but what would truly be magic? You see, you've always had access to the ends of the rope. But what if there were no ends of the rope? You see, then you'd be putting a solid ring onto a solid ring, and that would be impossible, which would make what you're doing real magic. And he showed them that there is now no way that a solid ring could go onto another solid ring. Now, the other magicians knew it would be impossible, but he did it in front of them anyway. And that's the story of the 5 magicians, the ring, and the rope. Well, I want to get to something a little bit different. We have a number of different things, and our time is waning. But I want to get into what I think is one of the most beautiful things when it comes to the magic. Penn and Teller once said, if you had an opportunity to go see a stage illusionist or a close-up magician, always pick the close-up magician. We're going to get into some close-up magic right now. I'm going to take a drink just because I'm getting a little parched. So, ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me as I'm doing that. But we have here these different cards. And what I would like to do is share with you guys something special. Let's see. Let's go ahead and have John and Pat. Are you guys there? Actually, we'll do somebody that's together, so that way we don't have to have 2 screens up at once. John, are you there with us?
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm here.
So John, again, forgive me, I have about a half-second delay on you, but what I'm going to do is I want you to notice, if you take a look, I have a deck of cards here. Now, all I'm going to do with this deck of cards is I'm going to make a little waterfall with the cards just like that. When I do, you say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
Perfect.
Stop.
Now, you don't have to use this one if you don't want to. You may change your mind if you like, but is the 10, is that okay?
That's good.
Now, John, are you J-O-N or J-O-H-N?
J-O-H-N.
J-O-H-N, perfect. And John, can you tell me what time it is exactly right now?
It's 7:21 p.m. Tucson time.
7:21. The reason I ask that is because that way, if people at home think that we may have set something up ahead of time, we will know that that's not the case and they can verify the time. So we can see John at 7:21. John, your goal is to do this. I'm going to have you follow your card, and everybody at home, I want you to watch very carefully, because we're going to take John's card and I'm going to leave it about 2/3 of the way down in the deck. John, your job is to tell me the moment that the 3 changes places with the 10. Now, before I do that, I want to share with you a little history on the trick. This is the same trick that fooled the famous Harry Houdini. And the reason I'm giving you 3 chances is because Houdini insisted he get 3 chances. The reason I wrote your name on the card, it prevents me from using a duplicate card. Is all of that fair so far?
Yes.
Excellent. So your job, tell me when the 3 changes places with the 10. Watch very carefully. This is the first time it happens. There it goes. Did you see it?
No.
Don't feel bad. Everybody misses it the first time. We're going to do this again. I want you to watch very carefully, but this time I'm going to leave about 6 inches between your card and the new top card. With 6 inches between the 2 cards, you should be able to see the ace switch place with your card. Between 6 inches between those, that seems like a pretty fair amount. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Watch very good. There it goes. And there it went.
Wow.
Well, we're going to do this one more time. And John, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to take your card. We'll get it mixed in with all the rest of the cards. Here's how we're going to do it. Watch very carefully. You can see if I just push that top card forward, I'm just moving the very top card. Okay. Just like that. I'll push it all the way enough that you can actually see that your name is still on there. We're going to get your card lost into the middle of the middle, just like that. Now I'm going to show, I'm not holding on to any of those cards. You'll notice on the bottom is the 7. And you can take a look on the top is indeed the ace. So if you had to guess, do you know about where your card is?
Towards the middle, about one.
Towards the middle. Well, I want to show this to you. Jonathan, if you could just zoom out just for a minute. I want to share this with you guys because I actually have right here, I have this. Inside here is my wallet. Inside my wallet, I actually keep one card. Now this one's a little bit different because you notice that this one is a blue card. And if you can see this one blue card that I've had in my wallet the entire time, you can actually see that it actually has John's name on there. It's the only blue card in the entire deck. This is where it gets really strange because even knowing that his card was indeed the one blue card, and if you took a look again, you can actually see that there are no other blue cards. That's because if you look, there really are no blue cards. Ladies and gentlemen, please give John a round of applause. Well, we're gonna do something a little bit different. John, I'd like to do something, since we have you still, I want you to do something special with this card. So here is what we're going to do. Or actually, you know something, we should get one of the other volunteers in here. Do we have Molly? Molly, are you in there with your family?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Molly, here's what I'd like. Can I have the 2 of you girls do this? We're going to do something fun.
Yeah.
Molly, again, could you just say stop whenever you like? Remember, I have about a ½ second delay, so say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
Perfect. Molly, I'm gonna go ahead and write your name on this card, if that's okay. That's going to be the 3. Is the 3 okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And M-O-L-L-Y, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And there is Molly's card. Now, Jonathan, don't take your eyes off that. I'm going to leave Molly's card here just for a moment. Is it okay for me to ask the young lady's name next to us?
My name is Alexis.
Alexis. Alexis, can you spell your name for me?
A-L-E-X-I-S.
Very good. Can you see your name on that card?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Alexis, I want you to watch. We're going to leave your card, that's the queen, We're gonna leave that sticking right over here. Now, I have a question for you guys. I'm gonna test your memory. Whose card was this one over here?
Mine.
That's Molly's card. And whose card was this one over here?
Mine.
I just wanted to make sure. So this one is Molly's, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that everybody's paying attention and we're all following along. Take a look at this one right over here. I'll bring them together. You can actually see that's Molly's card. Now we're going to take this a little step further because you'll notice again that both of the cards have their names on the cards, so it cannot be a duplicate card. And we're going to do this one more time. Here's what we're going to do. Actually, we'll use both of these cards. I'm going to take both of these cards and I'll turn them both over, and I want you to watch very carefully. As I turn both of them over, I'll show you the cards one at a time. Pay close attention as to which card is where. First of all, Alexis, that's your card right there. Can you see your name on there?
Yes.
It's a little bit of a glare. Let me see if I can't get that turned down. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, now I can see it.
Wonderful. So we're going to take your card. That's the Queen, and I'm going to leave it sticking out about 2/3 of the way, right about there. Now, if I've been fair, this one should be Molly's card. We're going to take a look. There's Molly's card. That's the 3. You can see that, yes?
Yes.
Well, Molly, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn your card over. I'm going to put it right here. Do not take your eyes off the 3, because if you do, you're going to miss it. Don't take your eyes off the 3. This is when it happens. I'll turn it over, and I will leave it right here. Whose card is sticking out?
Mine.
Yeah, you can still see the ink on it. If you look, it actually says Molly's name. That means the one that's down here is Alexis's card. Well, we're going to do one more with you two girls, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get these mixed up, and I need your help this time. So you're going to be the ones doing the magic, not me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, good. So we're going to get Molly's card mixed up first with all of the rest of them. And I want you to see that we really do get these guys mixed up just like this, dropping big clumps of cards all over the place. And Alexis, we're going to take your card. We're going to get it mixed in there as well, just like this. And I want you to, again, see that we're getting clumps of cards mixed up just like this, just like that. Now, I want to show you girls that I'm not holding on to any of those cards, but if you look on the bottom is a 10. If you look on the top, I don't see either of your cards. So here's what we're going to do. Alexis, I want you to name a number. We'll say between 5 and 10. Just name a number.
7.
7? Okay, very good. Let's take a look. You said 7, so that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly where you said it was going to be is your card.
Wow.
Molly, now it is your turn. Would you name a number, we'll say between 10 and 15?
10.
10? Very good. I want you to see this. Let's take a look here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You said the 10th card. You could have said anyone that you wanted, but you said the 10th. And there is Molly's card, exactly where she said it was going to be. Well, I want to do some more, but I want to make sure that I get to this treat of a trick. There is so much more. Maybe if we have some extra time, we'll check in just a little bit. But I really, really want to get to this trick because this is such a beautiful, beautiful trick. We're going to move on to something for just a moment. Actually, I think we do have time for this one. I want to share with you guys a story. This is a story that was shown to me by somebody who came up to me on the street. He says, Dennis, I have a little game that I want to play. It involves 1, 2, 3 cards. He goes, first of all, if you take a look, these cards are a little different because he wrote on them. The gentleman showed me that he wrote this on his card. He says, this is not very important because we have a second this card. The one that I want everybody to watch is that card. And he even wrote it in blue, which helped it stand out just a little bit more. So here's what we're going to do. He says, watch that card. And he says, Dennis, where is that card? I said it was on the top. And he goes, good job. And he says, but what if we were to move that card quickly to the bottom? I said, well, then it would be on the bottom. And he goes, no, that's this card. And I said, but that was this just a moment ago. And he goes, I know. If you take a look at the one on the top, that's also this card. And I said, well, if this is on the bottom and this is on the top, then that must be in the middle. And he says, no, that's also this card. I said, well, what in the world happened to that card? And he goes, well, that card's been on the bottom the whole time. And I said, but that was this just a moment ago. And he goes, I know. If you take a look at the one on the top, though, that is also now that card. And I said, wait, you have two that cards? And he goes, actually, we're cheating because the one in the center is also that card. And I was confused. I said, well, what happened to this card? And he said, oh, you mean this card? And I said, yeah. And he said, this card? And I said, yeah. And he said, this card? I said, you're cheating. And he goes, of course. You'll have to remember in life that you'll get a little bit of this and you'll get a little bit of that, but not much of the other. Well, there's so much more that I actually have planned for you guys, but I really want to get to this illusion because it is such a beautiful illusion. And it's this, I look at the world and I love all of the things. I mean, in some aspects, it kind of tears my heart apart because I look at the world and I see, if you turn on the television, you see so many things that seem to be tearing the world apart right now, which is really, really sad. It's another reason that I love what ITK does is because it brings healing. So much of that is needed in this world today. Well, there's 4 things that I can really think of that it does not matter where you go into the world, that you can appreciate these 4 things that bring people together. The first one is food. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. A good meal is a good meal, and you can appreciate that anywhere. The second thing, I think, is a beautiful piece of music. Even if you don't know the words and you just hear a melody, it's going to be something that just pleases the ear. The third thing, I think, is a wonderful visual magic trick. Even if you didn't know what I was saying, you could still observe it and watch and see with delight and just have your eyes smile. And the fourth thing I have right over here. It's in this box right here, which we're going to come to in just a moment. Before we get to that, I'm looking at my time. So here's what I want to do. I have a couple other people that have not helped me volunteer. Rachel, I think I had Rachel help me out. Who has not volunteered yet? I know John has, I know Molly has, and Sharon has. Pat, I don't think Pat helped me out yet. Pat, are you with us? That's okay. We're going to jump over to Rachel. Rachel, are you still? Rachel, are you still there with us? There's Shay. Shay, I think Shay's going to participate in this.
I'm ready to help.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So Shay, this is what we're going to do. And just for all of you at home, I don't ever prearrange or plan anything at all. Shay and I have only recently met not too long ago. Shay, you may be familiar with this concept that people have. Some people call it the twin connection, where twins, identical twins, one on one side of the country and another, they could even be on the other half of the globe. One of them may injure themselves and hurt themselves in such a way where they feel a pain in the right arm, and the other twin knows it because they get a twinge. Have you heard of this phenomenon before?
Yes.
Wonderful. And oftentimes you get that same interaction with people that have known each other for a long time. For instance, a spouse or some really, really good friends. Have you personally had something like this where just with somebody that you know really well, you can just connect and know what it is that they're thinking? And it's not because you've heard the story before. Have you ever had that?
Have had that experience, yes.
Wonderful. What I'd like to do is I'd like to create this moment right now. I know that we don't know each other all that well, But I am going to, I have on here a simple, it may be a geometric shape, or it may be a number or something like that, that I have written down. And I just want you to focus on me just for a moment and think. Now, you're not going to know what it is. Obviously, we haven't had this discussion. And I want you to be 100% honest with everybody at home. Do you have any idea what I've written down?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen! I'm just kidding. That's not the trick, but it's really one of my favorite things. So Shay, instead of that, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Shay, I shared with you my fourth and favorite passion that I'm going to share with you right now, and it is this. It's right here. There are places all over the world that are dedicated specifically to this, and it's different works of art. And I want you to notice this, that as we go through these, like for instance, we have here, this was one of my favorites growing up. This was The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. We also have, I wouldn't say the most famous, but a pretty famous one is indeed The Last Supper. We also have here, oh, no collection would be complete without dogs playing poker. No, I'm kidding, that's not. But Shay, what is the most famous painting of all? Do you know?
I don't know.
If you had to guess, what do you think it would be?
The Mona Lisa.
The Mona Lisa, and there she is, right there. Well, Shay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go through these cards, and I'm gonna take 2, 3, maybe 4 of these cards at a time and place them from the top and put them on the bottom. Now, if I were to do this, if I were to take these cards and do this, you might see a painting that you like and stop me there. I don't want you to do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you choose one of these paintings in a little bit of a different way. And here is how we're going to do it. Shay, I'm gonna tell you how I'm going to make you do what I want you to do before you do what I want you to do. Let me explain. A lot of people, they've never heard the term PvP before, or oftentimes they think that it stands for player versus player, and it doesn't. It stands for Positional Visual Persuasion. I'm gonna explain what I mean. When you think about going to the grocery store, you'll notice this. When you walk into the grocery store, they know the most purchased items everywhere because they have to restock them. Now, the most purchased item is the produce, the vegetables and the fruit. And that's gonna be right when you walk in the store. Good job, grocery store. But the second most purchased thing is indeed the eggs and the milk, inconveniently located at the back of the middle of the store. Third is the frozen goods, which is on the opposite end of the store. They do this purposely so you have to walk by all of the aisles to see the sale end caps and hopefully entice you to go down those aisles. Now, Shay, I want you to imagine just the cereal aisle alone. As you look at the cereal aisle, now, as I said, I have 4 kids. If you look at the bottom row, you'll notice that it's all sugar, 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 sugar. But the top row, bran, fiber, oats, because they know that we try to eat healthy. And the same is at the checkout. When you go to the checkout, you have your candy at the bottom, and it's the breath mints and the gum on the top shelf. This is positional visual persuasion. Shay, I've told you how I'm going to fool you, and I'm going to do that with you right now. As I said, I'm not going to show you this side of the cards, but instead I'm going to turn the cards over, and I'm going to show you this side of the cards. Now, nobody should be able to see what cards these are, but Shay, here's how we're going to play the game. I'm going to take 2, 3, or 4 of these at a time. If you say stop, when I have cards in my right hand, I will not use those. I will continue to put those onto the bottom of the deck and will only use whatever card is on the top of the pile. That way I'm limited to one single choice. Shay, as I'm doing this, you'll notice that oftentimes I talk because I find that people won't interrupt me, and perhaps I can get to the card that I want. Feel free to say stop whenever you want, but I might leave a pause like this. creating an awkward silence that makes you want to fill that. So whenever you like, you say stop.
Stop.
Right there. Now I'll give you a chance, because we do have that delay, you may change your mind, but you don't have to. Jonathan, zoom out just a little bit. Would you like to change your mind, or would you want to keep that one?
I'll keep that one.
You're 100% sure. It's important that you know exactly that this is the one that you want.
Yes.
All right, excellent. Well, I want you to see, I'm just going to take the very top card. And Jonathan, make sure that you're zooming out enough so that everybody can still see that. It looks like we have Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Now, I want to share this with you because you'll notice behind me this entire performance, I've had this. This has been behind us the entire time, and it is indeed a copy of Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. And just to show you guys that this is not a computerized or televised image, you can see that. I'll turn it around so everybody can indeed see that it really is. There's no wires or anything attached to it. It really is that Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Well, there is so much more that I wanted to share with you guys, but I see my time is out unless Shay says that I can keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to give it back to you. And I just want to thank you before anything that you guys have given me the most valuable thing it is that you have. You've given me both your time and your attention, and you've chosen to spend it here with ITK. And I cannot thank you enough for that. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Oh,
right,
that was so fun.
My mind is officially blown. He is a wizard, and that's all there is to it. That trick was with the ropes was amazing. The cards.
Right.
Great job, Dennis. Thank you. That was incredible.
It has been a night filled with magic and memorable moments, laughter and love, and so much giving and generosity. We truly cannot thank you enough for joining us for this special first ever ITK Virtual Butterfly Gala event.
And thank you again for your participation, for all your donations. And remember that the auction closes at 9 p.m. Pacific time and in Arizona. So place your final bids now. There is some wonderful things, and all the money goes to help those that need it most. And by the way, whoever wins that Italy trip for 2 couples, my wife and I, we're packed, we're ready to go, passports, give us a call so we can go with you. But seriously, thank you everyone, Shay, everyone at ITK, and thank you for helping us celebrate everything ITK tonight. With your financial support, we can create another year of magic. So please, give what you can, as we couldn't do any of this without you. And you, and definitely you, sir. I see you, Thank you, everyone. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Adam. I so appreciate you doing this with me. It was sweet of you to volunteer. Yet another volunteer for ITK.
My pleasure.
So we wanted to wrap up this evening in a playful and upbeat way. And so some of ITK's kids and volunteers wanted to show you their favorite dance moves. So feel free to cut loose and join them on the dance floor. And we will see you in 2022. Take it away, kids.
Thank you.